Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the morning drinking show, getting on this motherfucker, right? I'm your host, Greg. Been getting on here every day, talking shit, talking life, motherfuckers. We compressing your asses, challenging you to be what? Better and better and better than who you were yesterday. Not better than everybody else, right? Not better than all them little goody good goods. Just better than who the fuck you showed up as yesterday. That's why we do this shit every day, because every day is an opportunity to grow, to expand, to try new things in life. Things that can make us become better than who we were yesterday. That's all it's about. Improvement, self-improvement every single day. Anybody want to improve their situation on this day in 2022? Anybody fucking marching towards something? Yeah, any of you guys got actually some goals and some dreams and some things that you trying to achieve? I know I got a lot. I got a lot of shit I'm trying to achieve right now. I got a lot of things I'm working towards. I got a lot of things I'm managing in my life right now. Big challenges, little challenges, everything in between, man. It's a great time to be alive. I wrote about that today in my journal. I really write that every day in my journal, because the truth be told, we don't know. We just don't know when our last day is. We don't know when the last day is. All right. You know, we reflected a lot this month about loss. There's been a lot of loss going on. Tomorrow's my cousin's funeral, right? And it's like, that shit still hit me. It still fucking hit me hard. But as I'm trying to honor his life, right? We talked about Memorial Day recently. How do you honor people you've lost, right? How do you honor them? How do you honor yourself, right? Through a grieving process, through loss, right? Why does loss hit us so hard, man? Why do we feel so fucking down when we lose somebody, right? That's got to be the most difficult situation for some, right? For some people, loss is a difficult situation. But loss is very different, right? When I say loss, you could be thinking about losing a loved one, right? When I say loss, some of you guys could be thinking about, losing a job, right? Losing a home, right? Losing your freedom, right? Losing your fucking mind. So loss is not equal, right? When I say loss, everyone has a different perspective. And that's really the most important piece of life, right? Is starting to get to that maturity level where you realize that not everybody sees things the way you see things, right? And just because they don't see things the way you see things, that don't make you right. That don't make them wrong. That's the interesting thing about this world. I had a conversation with a friend this morning, and he's very religious minded. And sometimes we just kind of get into it, but it's like I'm always trying to deconstruct, because I don't stand on any dogmatic ideology, religious views, political views, social views, right? Like so many motherfuckers out there, so many people in this day and age. It's all about what? Religion, politics, social fucking issues, right? Cost of goods and living, economy. And it's like, that's it. That's your whole fucking life existence. You put all your focus, all your energy into that, and you think you're right. And here's the thing, guess what? Be right. You get to be right. But you shouldn't be an ass to everyone else, right? You shouldn't just discredit someone else's point of view. Trust me, there's a lot of shit that the Republicans can learn from Democrats. Democrats can learn from Republicans. Christians can learn from Buddhists. Buddhists can learn from Christians, right? People in the LGBTQ community can learn from straight people. Straight people can learn from LGBTQ community. It don't matter, right? There's shit that adults can learn from children. Children can learn from adults. But yet we get so fucking conflated. Our egos get so big. We align ourselves with shit from the outside, right? Let's also start there. Mostly everything that you align yourself with is on the external, right? It's not truly coming from who you are, right? As you came up in life, as you grew, as you developed, right? You were either already part of a cultural, thinking process, and it has developed you into the person or the ass that you are, right? Because you're so fucking morally superior to everyone else based on what? Your political, religious, and social fucking views? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. All that does is cause more and more and more division, right? Me and my friend were talking this morning about division. And I'm always talking about what? Problems and solutions, right? Most motherfuckers, you guys are complainers. You talk about all these problems, all these issues, gas prices, right? If it's not gas prices, it's about what? It's Supreme Court decisions. It's about fucking elections. It's about what? I mean, just go down the list. It was about war the other day. Then it was about COVID. Then it's about something else, right? And you get mind fucked every fucking day, every day. There's something to be worried about. There's something to overwhelm your nervous system that's coming from where? The outside, right? It's all externally focused. And we learn this shit from the beginning, the earliest stages in life, right? When you start plugging in to school, right? They don't teach you about yourself. You spend years upon years upon years learning about shit that happened 5 years ago, 50 years ago, 1,000 years ago, a gazillion years ago. We learn about all these other people. We learn about authority. We learn about hierarchy. We learn about being submissive, right? Following the rules. Everything's externalized, right? There's very few institutions, programs that really put the focus on the self, on the individual. And so even if you find yourself in like a religious, you're a religious person, you're so fucking religiously goody good, right? What so many people don't realize is even in that, look how much codependency you have. You have it on your pastor, you have it on the rabbi or whoever the fuck is your leader, right? Right? You put it on that person, you put it on God, codependency, when it's still the spiritual journey is a journey of self, right? You don't get to carry nobody with you to the afterlife. You can't take your friends, your family, and that's why we grieve loss, yes? That's why loss hits us so hard, because someone that we know in our life that we're related with, that we have experiences with, memories with, connection with, are no longer here. And I think there's probably something to be said about when we lose people, it freaks us the fuck out because there's so much uncertainty, regardless of the kind of beliefs we have, right? It rocks the certainty of what? Life and death, the afterlife. Like no one truly knows, because how many people celebrate, right? Redemption, heaven, or you think of damnation. Like if you believe in heaven and hell, right? I've never been to a funeral where they start lighting up somebody saying, motherfucker, this guy was an asshole. He treated people horribly. He cheated people out of this. He always mistreated people, was always talking down, was always a negative motherfucker. No, we don't do any of that shit. We celebrate the life. We celebrate the good. We, pray that this person is in heaven. Like no one goes to hell. So then how the heck how is that a part of your faith? How is your faith built on, is there heaven or is there hell? You're telling me every single person that's ever died, right, that had kind of like a Catholic funeral or a Christian funeral, they all go to heaven? Because I've never been to a freaking funeral where they didn't assume that this person is good and they went to heaven. So it's just like everyone's a walking motherfucking contradiction out there, right? I'm listening to my buddy and he's so fucking adamant about the religious views. He's got deep faith. I don't question his faith. It's deep. But then he starts talking about religious stuff and political things as being the solution. Oh man, our issue now is we just got to vote in this other motherfucker because the one we got now is no good. I'm like, dude, how are you putting your stock? How are you still putting your faith, your fidelity, your confidence in a system that's corrupt? Right? It's not for the people, by the people no more, folks. We need to wake the fuck up. What are you contributing to? You're a part of it, right? And we just become more and more divisive, right? And this guy started talking about the Bible and how, even Jesus came to divide, mothers and fathers from kids and, families and this and that. And I had to kind of think on that. And I told him, you know what? I don't necessarily agree with that. I think what it talks about isn't us getting into like our little clans, right? As we're right. Christians are totally right. The Jesus salvation is the absolute truth without any question. So if you subscribe to that, you're right. Because every other fucking religion all over this world, right, they all bullshitters. Because we know that. We've never been to all these countries. We've never learned about their religions. We don't know about their cultures, but they're wrong and we're right. That's how fucking narrow-minded we are. Right? We close down, we shut down. We don't allow ourselves to be expanded, to be neutral, right? We would rather have division. We'd rather have an echo chamber. And if you're someone that finds yourself all like surrounded by nothing but people that sound and think the same way you do, you're in trouble. I talk about all the time. You are in some trouble. You need to get outside of your bubble. You need to see what someone else thinks with a genuine curiosity, right? Because that's the only way we're going to come up with what? Solutions to real fucking problems, right? But yet we continue to what? Put stock. When I say stock, that means you continue to invest in what? Politicians, a political system, as if it's somehow going to bring about what? Peace on earth, change, right? Lower gas prices. What is it going to bring for you? It's about politics. We need to realize we got to get past the politics. We got to get past the religious dogmas, right? That our view is only the right way, right? How do you prove it? You have your faith. I ain't trying to challenge your fucking faith, right? But can you really walk it out? Can you truly walk out your faith? And as I'm talking to my buddy, he's talking about being, judging people's fruit. You know them by the fruit of their whatever. I'm like, who made you a fruit inspector? If anybody's ever driven into like California, right, they got these fruit inspection stops, right? And it's like, I'm talking to a religious man and he's over here judging everybody. He's over here being like, oh, but that person's this and that, and this person's that, and this and this and that and that and this. It's like, what does that got to do with you? Worry about you. The spiritual journey is a journey of self. That's it, right? It's about self. Whether you believe in a creator, in God, in Jesus being the manifestation of God in the flesh, it is a single person journey. Every person, it is a fucking solo journey, right? Yeah, you can handhold. Yeah, you can fucking raise your hands together. Yeah, you can say where 2 or 3 are gathered, there's the Lord. Why isn't he just here? I thought he's everywhere, right? But it's like we contort ourselves, right, to find comfort, right? And we want comfort in what? That whatever we believe in is true. So we're going to continue to look for things that validate our beliefs. Whether we're looking for political validation, social issue validation, religious validation, what do we truly want? What's at the core of it all? To feel like we understand what this whole thing called life is about. And yet all of that is external. Your religion is external. Your politics is external. The social issues of the day is external. What to do or not do about guns, it's external. It's not going to bring about more safety, more fucking freedom, right? More security in your personal life. No matter what they do about guns, that will not change your personal sense of security or safety, right? This has to do with you putting in the work, building a relationship with yourself. We don't learn this shit. That's why I come on here every day so passionate. Because I know ain't nobody that's gone through public education, even private education, spent years upon years learning about themselves, right? When we learn about ourselves, more times than not, is when we hit a motherfucking disaster, when shit happens in a negative. Then we can see what we're truly made of. But so many of us, it's unfortunate. From 0 to 10 years old, the traumatic events that you had experienced, right? Those are the things that impact you. The little child inside of you, that little boy, that little girl, right? Inside of you that has experienced terrifying things from 0 to 10 years old is still crying out afraid as a grown-ass adult, right? You have an adult, you got a child, and you got a parent. Those are the part, excuse me. That is the construct of our psychology, of our thinking, of our nature, right? That little bitch voice, right, is usually the little child inside of us. They're scared. They're afraid. And so many of us, we are not in touch with ourselves that we cannot even determine the difference between when we are afraid and when we're angry, because we know anger. We know that negative emotion, and we don't realize that there is a difference between just being afraid. And being afraid doesn't make you weak, right? It's staying afraid that makes you weak. There's plenty of times throughout my life, throughout days, that I get a little freaked out. I get a little afraid, but I at least now know what that is. And then I can have an internal conversation, because I've been putting in that work and I've been building that relationship with myself, that I can have an internal conversation and say, okay, what's really at the root of this? What is this feeling that's going on? Oh man, am I nervous? Am I afraid? Am I frustrated? Am I angry? Am I insulted? What is it? Right? And at least when I know I'm afraid or any emotion, I can now like figure out what's the root. I can get to the root of it. But so many of us are so fucking distracted. We're so focused on all the problems in this world. And we want politicians to be the solution. We want the invisible God to solve everything. We put it all on him. Well, it's on God. God's going to take care of everything. God's going to take care of it. This is God's will. This is how he wants it. Is God's will the motherfucker in West Africa that's starving to death, that his reality is right now he's clawing himself into the fucking dirt? He ain't ate. He's dying of starvation, and he's clawing himself into the fucking dirt. He's digging his own grave with his fucking fingernails, right? What about that person? They need to be saved. They need that redemption. That was the fucking existence that they got birthed into, that they got fucking put into, right? All this shit. We get so caught up on the dumb little fucking problems, complaining about customer service, complaining about expectations not being met, needs not being met, as if somehow that is real human suffering. It's not. It's not real human suffering. It's mental and emotional suffering, which is super valid, because if we would actually spend some time trying to heal that shit, right, we'd be less offended. We'd be more kind, right? We'd be more loving. We'd be more accepting of different fucking cultures, different beliefs, instead of getting so triggered that somehow only your belief, your perspective is valid. We don't know the mysteries of this world, right? I've spent time just trying to, engage in lots of different beliefs, right? Lots of spiritual beliefs. And I'm just neutral right now. I don't really have one certain belief. I have issue with Redeemer and salvation. I do believe there's probably a creator, right? But I also do know, here's what I do know, right? Is every single beating heart, every life form, every living being, everything that is alive on this planet, we are all connected, right? Prove me wrong about that. We're all connected. I would love for you to try and prove that wrong. Prove it right, prove it wrong. It's impossible both ways, but I know that there's energy in between us. And I know that there is this thing that connects us. You think about when you're ever driving down the road, right? If you're ever driving down the road and someone's walking on the sidewalk and you look at them, right? You're like 4 lanes over, but you look at somebody. Why do they seem to be able to look back at you? Like, out of all the shit that's going on, all the cars, you're driving, just doing your thing. Someone's walking the other way. You look at them and they look at you. There's a connection there. It's so weird, right? We have this energetic connection, and yet it's only in our ego. It's only in our pride that we manifest a thought that somehow there is division, that somehow only ourselves matter, right? And that somehow only our perspective is the one that counts. And it seems like that has a perpetuation to continue to build problems and not solve them, right? Because when I hear people bitching and complaining, right, I'm someone that says, well, what's the solution? What is your solution to this? I love hearing people's solution. The great conversation right now is the solution on guns, right? Gun violence. And everybody's got a different opinion. Do you think your opinion's right and someone else is wrong? Is your opinion based solely on a political agenda? Because what you've been told? Because, you know, if you grew up in a family of like hunters and outdoors people, military-based people, law enforcement-based people, you know, guns is probably not a real big deal. It's probably not even a real dangerous thing, right? Because most people realize it's a tool. It's just like having a fucking drill, right? Yes, it's lethal, right? But in the hands of a responsible person, it would never be used in a fucking way that would harm someone else, period. Beyond that person literally threatening that other person's life. Like most responsible people realize that it's a tool. It's a very dangerous tool, right? But if I was sitting in a room full of people that didn't mean no bad intentions on me, I didn't mean no bad intentions on them, and it was full of guns and ammo, that shit's just taking up space. it ain't gonna harm anybody. But in the hands of the wrong person with the wrong intentions, right? That's a fucking lethal weapon. That could cause a lot of damage, and we see it. We see it. And so there's a lot to be said that culture of people exists here in this country. And there's nothing wrong with them. They're responsible people. They don't have an intention to go out and harm or hurt anybody, right? Without that person coming and threatening their life or their safety, right? But then there's this other fucking tribe of people, and they're like, hey, we need to just get rid of all that stuff. Maybe you didn't grow up with it. Maybe you did. Maybe you even experienced some heinous violence, you know, street violence, gang violence. And maybe it was like, it broke your heart so much because of how much suffering you've seen at the hands of of a tool that it can be used in such a fucking heinous way that you are like completely appalled to it, right? You completely repelled to it. You are against it at all costs, right? What's wrong with your point of view? Nothing. It's your point of view. The beautiful thing about this country, unlike so many other countries, which we seem to fucking forget, right, is people get to have the freedom of their fucking choice, the freedom of their fucking views, but we want to silence every motherfucker that doesn't align with our beliefs, right? We want to create discord, and that is what's creating division, because everybody thinks they're right. And in order to be right, that means the other person must be wrong, which is wrong. You can have two opposing views and both people can be right, technically, because they get to have entitlement to their views based on what? Their experience. It's just like when I say loss, like, how does loss feel to you? You know, some people think it's death. Some people think losing a job. Some people think losing a relationship. Some people are worried about losing, you know, a whole lifestyle, bankrupt or whatever. I mean, there's so much loss of freedom. We all don't see and have the same definitions, but we don't want to see that, right? I've always thought diversity, right, is our strength. But what I see everyone trying to do is polarize towards one side or the other. And in the process of polarizing yourself, you're putting every other person that doesn't polarize with you on blast as if they're fucked up, they're wrong, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That shit's fucking super offensive, and it's gonna cause motherfuckers to fight, right? No one likes to be offended like that. And most of y'all motherfuckers can't sit in a room and hear someone else's point of view, right, without having a fucking meltdown, right? We want discord, right? Some of y'all, you motherfuckers coming at me, stop with the F words. I love the message. The stuff you're saying makes sense, but I can't take the F bombs, right? As if somehow we live in a civilized fucking society. Bull fucking shit, man. Y'all edit yourself with the little F, fucking asterisk, CK. Like, stop with this shit, man. Just say it. Say it. Freaking, fracking, chicken, shack, and just say the motherfucking word, right? But yet, we all try and put on this little happy face. We like to doll ourselves up, right? Because we want acceptance, because we want to make ourselves look something that we're probably not, right? I see people, you guys get all dressed up, take pictures like you fancy, and it's like, you ain't fancy. Come on now. Come on now, right? Why don't you just be your true and authentic self? That's what we need in this world. We need people to truly stand for something that they believe in, that they would be willing to fucking die for, right? That's where the real passion is when you're able to find your truth, stand on your own fucking word, your own truth, your own beliefs, right? And if nobody else stands with you, that doesn't mean everyone else is wrong, right? You're entitled to have a completely different opinion from everybody else, and you should feel safe to do that in this world. But unfortunately, we live in a society where having a difference of opinion that goes against the politics, the media, the religious ideology, the social fucking issues, right? It ostracizes you, right? And we want to what? Cancel people. I mean, there's people out there that are like, want to grab and take away all the guns, right? And literally they would kill, right, people that they have this like bloodthirsty vengeance on people, right? They're so passionate about wanting to bring about peace, but even their own version of peace comes through a form of authority, force, which will lead to violence. And we see it. We've been seeing it. We've been seeing, right, the riots, the fucking communities that people are really unsettled, right? And it's justified, right? The looting, the rioting, when people are mad, when people aren't being heard, when they're victims, when they're feeling like, why can't I just get taken care of in life? Why can't you just hand me free money? Why can't you pay for me for a place to live? Why can't you pay for me for my car? Why can't you pay for my phone? Why can't you give me free internet? Why can't you give me free school? Why can't you give me free food? It's like we want free everything. We want free fucking everything. Everybody deserves to be a fucking multimillionaire by doing jack shit. That's what most of you want. You want to live a millionaire, wealthy, luxurious lifestyle and have to do jack fucking shit to get it. Who the fuck do you think you are? Clearly you think you're something special, right? You think you're something special. And you probably are something special, right? But what I see is the special in you is not what the special is that you're seeing. You're seeing entitled being special, and I'm seeing you have the ability to empower yourself, to put in work, to focus your energy, to focus your thoughts, to organize your mind, to disconnect from the bullshit, right? To empower yourself to truly put forth effort and energy and create the hero's story in your life. But we don't want to do that. We love watching it, the hero's story. I ain't even seen the Top Gun movie, but I'm pretty sure that, we're talking about military, we're talking about a stud, Maverick, all this shit. I'm pretty sure it's a hero story, right? And you know what I mean by the hero story? The hero story is the fucking this motherfucker, right? From a loser, right? From rock fucking bottom to the top of the fucking mountain. It's all on me, motherfuckers. No fucking excuses. That's the hero's journey. No one's here to rescue you. No one's going to fucking take care of your ass. No one's just going to give you fucking handouts. You got to bring about this shit. You got to be able to be someone that you can count on your fucking self when no one else is there. We scared. We go and fake the funk. We sell ourselves out in order to what? Fit in all the time. How many of you fucking sell out your values, your beliefs in order to fit in and to somehow get ahead with doing the least, doing the motherfucking least to get ahead. And I'm not a fucking firm believer that you have to just grind and work hard and 24/7. I don't preach that shit, right? To me, you got to put yourself as a priority. And you got to get honest with yourself. You got to quit bullshitting yourself, bullshitting all these other motherfuckers. And the only way that that's ever going to happen is when you are ready to take total fucking ownership of your life. Every fucking thing, right? It's a great journal. I'm going to probably journal that out extra today. I was thinking about this. Now that I'm on the other side of skydiving, I'm like sitting there this morning and saying, what's the fucking scariest thing I could do now? What's the scariest fucking thing, man? Like skydiving is a pretty fucking scary thing for the average human being. The thought of jumping out of a fucking airplane is pretty fucking scary, right? Check. It was the most exhilarating experience of my life. I'm ready to get back in the air. I tried to squeeze back in one more jump on Monday. I was in the harness. I was nervous. I was actually probably feeling more nervous the second time around than the first. But I was ready to go. I was signed up, signed my waivers, fucking harnessed up. Plane was on the fucking flight deck, and they fucking stood us down. It's okay. I'm just ready to get back in the air. But I am now on the other side of a huge fear from not only my own psyche, but this is a collective psychological fear that we all share. Like, what is the most fucking scary thing you could think of? It's got to be up there. Jumping out of a fucking airplane. Most of us are like, hell no, I'm jumping out of a fucking airplane. That's scarier than fuck, right? And it may not be for you, right? But I'm having to evaluate me because I've now leveled up. I will no longer have to replay this crazy thoughts of anxiety and emotions, right? Kind of letting my mind run wild of all the bad possibilities that could happen when the time, if I ever found the courage to jump out of an airplane, happen. I won't ever have to play that in my psyche ever again. I'm free from that because I have done it. I'm on the other side of the fear. I survived it. And it's great. I'm ready to go again and again and again and again. Does that mean that I could fucking I could die doing it? Yes. Yes. I could die going to the fucking store 2 minutes away in my truck in an hour from now. There's a gazillion reasons why I could die today. There's a gazillion ways you could die today. And yet we continue to waste our time. We continue to act like we have all the time in the world until we don't, right? And then we start looking back and we get depressed, right? We fill ourselves with regret. And it's a sad place to be, to wake the fuck up at an accelerated age, knowing that you don't have the body to go and do amazing things that you wish you could have done. So you're left with what? Regret. Allowing your hopes and your dreams and the gift you had inside you, it dies with you. And when I put out there problems and solutions, so many of us, we either are the problem or we definitely know how to point out problems. But very few of you are willing to become the solution or to bring solutions to the table and not just drop it like a little idea fairy, but to say, hey, I'll champion this solution. I will become the solution. I will run for politics, right? I've done that too, twice. That's how much I was willing to put myself out there, even knowing I got this shit, even knowing that eventually the media was going to fucking figure it out and come after me. They did a great job. Great job fucking coming after me, motherfuckers. You didn't silence me and you didn't stop me. I still went through, not once, but twice. I'm grateful that I didn't get elected. I can see, would I have made a difference if I got elected? You better fucking believe it. I would be rocking those motherfuckers right now. And that's why they came at me so hard, because I'm outspoken. I don't sell the fuck out no more. I have, right? What about that level of confidence? I talked about that yesterday. When's the next time that you fuck something up that you take total ownership in a group of people? Hey man, you know what? I fucked that one up. Not, oh, well, this, that, this happened. Well, if it wasn't for this person and the delivery and this coming in late and that, and then all this other stuff I had to do that, it's just like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Everybody's playing the it's not my fault game, which is being a fucking victim. And it doesn't do anything to solve problems. It doesn't do anything to bring about fucking real change, right? All it does is disempower you and contract you, energetically speaking. You shrink. You become fucking tiny and small and insignificant. The more that it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. And I know this because I programmed myself to do this as a kid, right? Because I was a single child, when I would get in trouble, right, I learned to lie about it because I knew when I admitted it, I got in trouble and I've had to face the consequence. Well, clearly, there wasn't something right inside of me that I manipulated that. And a lot of us know this, man. We lie to our fucking parents. They know we lying. So we get in trouble no matter what. But yet we use that as a pattern of communication. And guess what? We don't ever mature beyond it in many ways, so that we tell those little white lies throughout the rest of our fucking lives. And we think that it's insignificant. I know, because I used to be that person, right? I used to justify telling them little fucking white lies. Oh, it's not telling a lie. It's just telling them what they need to hear, right? It's what they need to hear. They need to hear that everything's okay when fucking shit's really destroyed, right? So that other because you're trying to like protect, you're trying to preserve your own face, you're trying to preserve the relationship because there's fear of the unknown. If the truth be told, how is that going to change someone's opinion of you? We're so worried about being fucking perfect when there's nothing perfect about anybody, right? But I also have issues with the fact that how the fuck do we have a redeemer story needing salvation, right? When somehow there is this like stigma that somehow we're flawed. When we get spawned into this three-dimensional physical world, you're already flawed. You're a human and you're going to make mistakes and you need to be redeemed from that. But most of the mistakes you make actually come way after you're 10 years old, right? But those mistakes are based on what? How you cope with trauma, right? How you numb your pain, right? And whether that comes through addiction, all different types of addictions, right? All different types of anger, all different types of negative emotions coming out, causing us even more problems, more pain, and definitely a lot more fucking destroyed relationships along the way. Trust me, I'm an expert in the fucking destruction of relationship department. This is my fucking wheelhouse, motherfuckers. I know what it is to destroy relationships. Self-destruct. And I'm not proud of this shit, but it's the fucking journey of my life. It's the story of my life. And I've learned how to fucking change, right? By believing in myself, by getting honest with myself, doing the fucking work. And it's not just one day, one thing done. It's every single day putting in the work, because any journey that you want to start a new leaf on your fitness, you want to start a new leaf on your health, your nutrition, your finances, your education, your job, your career, any direction that you would like to improve in on your life, right? Any direction, any subject, anywhere, right? The way that you improve is by consistently showing up every single day. Honest showing up, not bullshitting, not cheating your way to the top, not manipulating, right? Not telling them little white lies to fucking save face so that you can get progress, so that people are going to always look at you as being perfect, right? It's real, right? Real is sexy right now. People that can be honest with themselves, that have real relationships with themselves, that are grounded in themselves, not grounded in everything else around them. Who the fuck is turned on by a motherfucker that is constantly like, who loves this shit on your Facebook feed? Who is like, man, I love that my friends do nothing but post political fucking content. Like whether it's Republican, conservative content or liberal, progressive content. How many of you guys just get super excited that you have like friends and all they do is post political, right, content all day long? How many of you motherfuckers get excited when all you do is you see people, all they do is put religious shit on there? And you know this person a little more personally. So you know that they just put all these little scriptures and all these quotes and all this bullshit out there. But you're like, I know this motherfucker. This is not, like, it's great that you're posting that shit, but you ain't living it. You ain't walking it. This is not truly who you are. You could post the shit. It does not make it who you are. If it's not truly about you, what effort does it take for you to fucking copy and paste a meme, copy and paste fucking a story or share something? And again, that's what we do though. That's how shallow we are as people, right? We live vicariously through what? Politics, through religion, through sports, through entertainment, right? We live vicariously, meaning we think that we're a part of it. I rent out a fucking motel room for $120 a night. These motherfuckers think it's their room. This is my room. Why isn't my room this way? Or why isn't the TV working in my room? I'm like, stop. This is not your room. It's our room. We're the ones that messed up, right? The TV's not working. That's on me. I'm going to have to give you a discount. I'm going to have to move your room. But guess what? It's not your room. You're borrowing this shit. But we have to take ownership of everything, man. And the worst places where we take ownership is in fucking other people's ideas, ideology, specifically religious, political, and social issues. That shit fucks us because it divides us. It makes us feel that somehow we are right. We own the topic. Anybody else that opposes it, they're fucked. They need to die. They need to go away. Their voice needs to be silenced. They're not valid. They're wrong. They need to change their view. They need to come and figure this shit out. They need to hear me. And it's just like, what does all that bickering and fighting do? All it does is create more division, more problems, zero fucking solutions, right? But I'm hoping that at some point, y'all motherfuckers are going to get so unsettled with all the prices, all this shit, that maybe I'll just start actually putting some shit into action, right? Maybe you'll actually start fighting each other, right? I would love to see that. I would love to see people really starting to fight for what they believe in, right? And fighting for what you believe in, maybe fighting with someone else, right? But at least that would tell me that you're passionate enough to actually put yourself out there, not just keyboard warrior shit, not just casting a vote. We do not live in a civilized society. Please do not come at me with that shit, right? There's nothing civilized about our society right now. Our political system is completely destroyed. It's completely corrupt, right? The news media is not for you. It's against you. It's a part of it, right? So there's nothing but fucking indoctrination, deception, deceit, lies everywhere. And that's why you have to get to a point in your life as a fucking adult, right, to where you realize what you can and cannot control, right? And if there's things that you see that are problems, why don't you start coming up with some solutions to them, right? Instead of always looking to somebody else, because that's what they want, right? That's why politics is so corrupt, is because they have owned a story, right, that somehow the common people, the majority of this country, right, the masses, which are not fucking these right or left fucking ideologues, just the masses, the motherfuckers that say, leave me the fuck alone, don't fuck with my freedom, leave me the fuck alone, right? We're sitting here in the middle, listening to both these sides fucking bitch and complain back and forth at each other and do nothing. Do nothing. There's zero solutions. It's just pointing fingers, blaming, insults, right? Tearing each other down, right? Belittling each other, right? It's all this shit. It's very off-putting, right? It's not attractive, but yet we continue to play into it as if somehow the system has the answers to our problems. It does not. And it's sad when I see all them goody good goods. The worst thing is when I see goody good goods, and I'm talking about you, like the Christian, Catholic type people, right? When you start peddling politics as if somehow the problems, right, can be solved. Spiritual problems can be solved by political fucking hacks. How many of you motherfuckers are these spiritual people, religious fucking people? You are still looking to politicians to solve your spiritual problems. You are the solution to your spiritual problems. Because again, as I said in the beginning, I don't care what your belief is. I do believe we are on a spiritual journey, but it is a journey of self. And the more that you learn about yourself, the more you actually realize how much more connected we are. All of us, every single motherfucker, whether you're rich, you're poor, or you're digging your own fucking grave in West Africa, starving to death, or whether you're fucking preaching the word on a Sunday morning, acting as if you got the way, right? We're all connected. The starving motherfuckers, the motherfuckers hit by all kinds of natural disasters, right? Women, children, all this shit. People that have been fucking just real physical suffering. We're all connected. Why do you think that your way is the only way? Right? How are you going to solve problems? That is what I care about. Is what solutions do you have? And don't give me the quick fix. Don't give me the magic tricks. We need real fucking solutions, actionable things, not magic tricks, right? Say this prayer, do this, read this, I'll pray for you, my thoughts, all this bullshit. That's not solutions. That's a faith. That's your faith. You get to have your faith in this country, right? And it's not my job to judge your faith versus someone else's faith. Oh, well, this guy's got real faith. This guy's got bullshit faith. He says bad words. He must not be fucking a believer. This person goes to church every Sunday. What a believer, right? But when I die, they're going to be like, man, he went to heaven. When you know, an atheist die, oh, he went to heaven. When this person died, everybody goes to heaven according to funerals, right? But is that truly in line with your faith? Probably not. So when you continue to perpetuate problems and then look to other people to be the solvers of those problems, you're losing. Because most of the problems you have are psychological. They are not real. Did you hear that? Most of the problems you have are psychological dramas. They're shit you're making up in your head. I hope you hear this. Most of the problems you have are shit you're making up in your head. You're bringing up the past and you're projecting it into the future. So because I used to be a drunk motherfucker, I'm going to keep being a drunk motherfucker. No, that does not solve my problem. My problem was I was a drunk motherfucker. Guess what my solution was? No more. No fucking more. That means zero. That means one is too much and 1,000's never enough. So I'm all or nothing. That was the solution to my problem. However, that didn't take away all my problems. I then had to go through a process of what? Healing, therapy, right? Believing in myself, rebuilding myself as a man, as a human, right? Going back to school, finishing up college education's 3 degrees, fucking starting to change up my nutrition, starting to take better care of my body, right? Starting to clean up my mind, starting to experience new experiences, starting to live life beyond a fucking happy hour, or a bar, or fucking club, right? Knowing that nature is true healing, spending time in nature, disconnecting from the phones, from the tech, from the distractions, and going out there and having a conversation with yourself, your creator, your God, your savior, whatever the fuck it is, right? But getting out there and really just connecting with yourself. Because I've seen the more I connect with myself, the more connected I feel to every single person out there. I continue to thank you for getting on here. We're going to continue to show the fuck up. No motherfucking excuses. I'm going to continue talking my truth. I know I rock a lot of you motherfuckers, but you keep listening. So that tells me that this message must be resonating, must be worth listening to day in, day out. I know some of you just drop in and drop out. That's fine too. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing this for you. If I was doing this for you, if I was doing this for the external, I would have given up a long time ago, because that was even a pattern in my life. When I was constantly trying to do things for other people's validation, right? I would lose interest because I wasn't doing it for my own best interest. But this is my story. This is my life. And I don't have to come on here and rehearse shit. I don't have to be scripted. I don't have to bullshit you. I don't have to worry about editing myself to make you happy. I don't give two fucks. I just get to speak my truth. And if it offends you, I'm sorry. Go listen to some shit that don't offend you, right? You may not learn from that, but I hope you do, because there's a lot of people sending the same message out. They don't got to say curse words, right? Their style's different. It's out there. Go find it. If it's what you're looking for, if you're looking for something to bring about some transformation and change in your life, there are some very inspiring people out there, right? I'm grateful for other content creators. I listen to them, right? I take this shit serious. My health, my wellness, my fitness, my mental health, my physical health, my emotional fucking health, and also the ability for me to be strong mentally, physically, and emotionally, so that I can have the body and the talents and the energy to go make a fucking difference in this world, to solve some fucking problems, to reduce the suffering in this fucking world, to try and inspire people to get out of their fucking bullshit fucking minds and become better versions of themselves, improving day in, day out. No motherfucking excuses, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.